Hey guys, that cinephile guy here. So I haven't done a review for a while. I've been a bit preoccupied with other stuff, but I'm back into it today. So today's review is of Fantastic Four. Now there's been a lot of talk about this one for a lot of the wrong reasons, for all the wrong reasons really. So today I'm going to be giving you my take on it. Now, I was really sort of reading for this one. I was really looking forward to it for a few reasons. There was a lot of sort of controversy about it throughout its whole sort of production, I guess, leading up to its release. Because of casting and Josh Trank himself. But I was really reading for it because I think it has an awesome cast. Five of the most talented actors who are sort of working today. Really exciting actors we've got here. And also Josh Trank himself. I mean, I loved Chronicle. It was one of my favorite films of that year, and I thought it was a really refreshing spin on this whole superhero thing. So yeah, from that alone, I was actually really rooting for this one. I was really hoping it was gonna, surprise a lot of people. But like as like trailers and all this stuff sort of came out, I was getting less and less enthusiastic with each sort of bit I was learning about this film. Um, and I mean, deep inside, I was really hoping it would be good. I was hoping it would succeed. Lo and behold, it didn't. It was pretty fucking terrible. So, to the point where I don't know where I'm actually going to start. Where I'm going to talk about. To start with, I suppose I'll start by saying that this film is possibly one of the most poorly written films that I've probably ever seen. There's just so much wrong with this film, just on paper alone. Um, I think the biggest thing about it is how underdeveloped these characters are. I mean, you haven't seen character, you know, no character development like this in I don't know how long. Um, Basically, all the characters are either wooden, they've been given nothing to do. Reed Richards is obviously our lead protagonist. This is going to be probably a long review, by the way, because I'm just going to be ranting about this film. Anyway, yeah, Reed Richards is a bit of a wooden protagonist. He's sort of just nothing. Uh, he's got no chemistry with Sue Storm, who's also a nothing character. She's given kind of nothing to do. Um, the worst of the four, I'm going to say, is definitely Ben Grimm. He's given nothing to do more than less than Sue is. He sort of just hangs around, and then comes and does his thing. Sorry about the pun. He comes and does his thing, sort of a bit, and then that's it. He's done nothing's done with him. So this character, the most interesting character by default, is Michael B. Jordan's Human Torch slash Johnny Storm. But even he's given sort of nothing to do. So yeah, by default, he's sort of the most interesting character. But again, like I said, there's no development. You don't care about these characters. They're just sort of going around doing stuff for no other reason other than to fill a void of characters doing stuff. Okay, we have to have a film where characters are doing things. We're going to have no logical plot or character development. This is just going to happen. No other reason, just because it has to happen. Like I said, there was no chemistry between any of the characters. I think the only chemistry was probably between Sue Storm and Johnny Storm. That was probably the only chemistry I felt between any of the characters. But there's only sort of one moment where all these characters are in the same room, same sort of scene together, I guess, which is at the very end. Um, the villain, the villain. Villain again is Victor Doom, who was obviously the villain in the last one. Um, yeah, this villain is probably one of the worst villains I've probably ever seen in a film ever. In the first sort of half, he's really one-noted. He's given again nothing to do. Um, he's sort of given nothing to do. You don't really care about what he's doing or why he's a villain, whatever. And then in the second act, in the second half of it, he disappears for a while. You think he sort of died, and then he comes back. And he's the big evil guy. And he's doing stuff because again he has to do stuff. His motive there is not what is this motive? He's angry about something. He wants to destroy stuff. Why? Why is he angry? Is he jealous? is he angry about something? There's no explanation given about that. So he is just sort of a blank slate of a villain, which is a really big problem in blockbusters these days. But this is on another level. Um, so yeah, that's the characters. The plot is, you don't care about the plot. The first half of it is just sort of all this talk about science, which is really boring, really lifeless. You don't care. It's just talk, talk, talk. Nothing happens. Um, I will say that this film, sort of going a bit off, the line here. This film is sort of divided, like it's sort of two different films clubbed together. Again, sorry about the pun. I keep throwing these out. Yeah, they're two different films that are sort of smashed together. Um, one is obviously Trank's film, which honestly isn't great, but this is the first half of it I'm talking about. By default, that's sort of the better half of the film because it's at least coherent. You can sort of at least follow what's going on and actually sort of give a damn. The second half, it's kind of, so obviously we're talking about all this science stuff, and then we cut to a year later, and then all this random stuff is happening, and we don't know why. There's scenes where we'll literally cut into the middle of a conversation, and it's just really awkward. There's some really awkward editing in this film, um, and yeah, and then we're sort of into the final sort of battle, and I will say something. There's only one action scene in this film, which is in the last 10 minutes of the film. This is a 100-minute film, and so you basically got 90 minutes of nothing happening, and then maybe 2 minutes of an action scene, which is the most generic sort of action battle you've seen ever. Um, so yeah, there's 10 minutes. There's action in the last 10 minutes. All the other action, might I add, that you see in like the trailers and stuff like that, is just seen on like computer screens in the background kind of thing. We're sort of just told this is what's happening. We're not actually sort of shown it, and that's where you can see there's been these obvious like reshoots and these production troubles. And I think that was the most enjoyable part of this film, sort of just seeing, sort of just picking apart where that was. Um, the one thing that I thought would hold it together but didn't was the cast. Um, like I said, they're really talented actors, all of these guys. But the material here is just so bad that even they can't make it work. Like you can see that they're really, really trying here, really trying to make this work, and they just can't because the material is just shoddy. There is one line of dialogue. I won't spoil it, but there's one line of dialogue in this film that is so howlingly bad that it's worth the price of admission alone. I won't spoil that. You probably know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. Um, so yeah, that's that. Technically, this film is really bad as well. Like the effects, there's some really obvious CG and green screen effects, and that's really unacceptable in this day and age. It was really like that was one thing I thought okay might be up to scratch, like the effects, because that's these days with films, if they got no plot, at least the effects are there to sort of wow us, but not even that. They were sort of there. Um, and yeah, there's some, like I said, there's some really awkward editing, and some really horrible ADR. It's really obvious, and it's just, it's just mind blowing. It's really mind blowing that how much they fucked this one up. Um, I will sort of finish off by saying that Fantastic Four is absolutely a bad movie. It's one of the worst I've seen in some time. I can't think of another film that's this bad. But it's also the worst kind of bad movie in that there's no entertainment value whatsoever about it. Like at least with some bad films, like I don't know, The Room or Batman and Robin, there's some entertainment value there. But this is just an absolutely nothing bad film. There is no entertainment whatsoever, and it's kind of insulting. It's just boring. It's lifeless. It's just basically 100-minute trailer for a better film. Um, and what I kind of summed it up as is was that it was kind of like this unfinished sort of pilot of like a cancelled TV show, and that's really what it felt like. It just felt like an unfinished film, and that like just thinking about it now just blows my mind. So, yeah, please avoid Fantastic Four at all costs. I kind of, at the same time, I kind of do want to recommend it to you because it just is just so bad. It just has to be seen to be believed. But like I said, it's just not entertaining. So yeah, if you sort of want to just check out how badly done this film is, go see it by all means. But otherwise, avoid it like the plague. Um, so yeah, that's my review of Fantastic Four. I will be back next time. See ya.